Welcome back. If I ended the previous part of the video, let's pick up a new job. I beg your pardons, good madam, but this is the Culinarians Guild. If you are here to dine at the Bismarck, one of our waiters will be along shortly to show you to your... Oh, you're not a patron. Might I assume, then, that you wish to become a culinarian? If so, I wholeheartedly recommend you to join the Culinarians Guild, where one may learn the culinary arts under the finest chefs in all the realm. What say you? Do you wish to join the guild? Yes. Wonderful! Then without further ado, I shall acquaint you with the history of our guild. As you are doubtless aware, Limsa Lominsa has long been the gastronomic capital of Eorzea. The city's rich culinary tradition is the product of a unique combination of factors. The first is our proximity to the fertile lands and plentiful seas of Hildebrand, which have ever yielded bounteous produce. The second is our standing as the realm's foremost trading port, which grants us access not only to exotic ingredients from faraway shores, but also to foreign merchants versed in their use. We are, in short, the beneficiaries of culinary knowledge from every corner of the world. Until recently, knowledge of this kind was passed on solely through word of mouth, and was therefore susceptible to corruption and loss. But that all changed when one man made it his mission to catalogue every recipe of note. His name was Admiral Glufuscream Baldeswin, also known as the Mastcleaver. The man's love of fine cuisine was such that, at sea, he would regularly spend as much time preparing meals in the galley as giving commands on the bridge. It was none other than he who founded the Culinarians Guild and codified cooking methodology. Today, the guild carries on Bladeswin's legacy, though the scope of our endeavors has expanded significantly. Not content with simply preserving existing recipes, we labor tirelessly to devise wholly novel culinary creations with which to delight the senses. To this end, our doors are open to folk from all walks of life, including adventurers such as your good self. One may liken our guild to a great pot of stew, and each member to an ingredient imparting a unique flavor. As with every dish, however, adding ingredients nilly-willy is certain to spoil the taste. Before you may take your place in the pot, you must be deemed a worthwhile addition by Guildmaster Linskath, a man whose passion for cookery burns hotter than any oven. Before troubling him, I must warn you that ours is a truly sweltering kitchen. As such, you would be well advised to ask yourself, can I stand the heat? If you earnestly believe that you can, speak to me once more, and I shall be glad to guide you through the enrollment process. So, have you the resolve to walk the path of the culinarian? Wonderful! Then you must speak to Master Linskath at once. This will come as no surprise, but he is the finest chef in Limsa Lominsa. His skill and dedication are second to none. You will find the guildmaster up the stairs. Yonder, keeping a watchful eye on his charges. Impress upon him your desire to learn, and he will surely find a place for you in his stew, by which I mean the guild. This is the Culinarians Guild, where the finest chefs in all the realm gather to master the culinary arts. If you are here to dine at the Bismarck, pray speak with our head waitress, Holano. She should be glad to assist you. Well met, adventurer. I take it you want to join our guild. Let's have a good look at you then. Bah, what's an underfed whelp like you to know about cooking? Judging by them scrawny arms of yours, you'd struggle to lift a spoon, never mind a skillet. Ha ha ha! I jest. It doesn't take muscle to be a culinarian. Hell, it doesn't even take talent, least not on his own. Nah, Les, more than anything else, becoming a good cook boils down to passion. If you got that, there ain't nothing you can't achieve. So tell me, have you got it? Have you got a passion to become a culinarian? Yes. That's the spirit. Aye, your passion for the culinary arts is plain to see. And you'll be needing every bit of it if you want to become a master culinarian. Why, if mastery was a 12-course dinner, I'd hardly have finished the soup. Make no mistake, our trades are tough as old mutton, and passion's the only thing what gets us through the grisly bits. But enough talk, what do you call yourself? Well then, Monacate, welcome to the guild. To mark the occasion, I present you with your very own skillet. Ain't much to look at, but it'll serve a novice like yourself. Now then, let's see whether you can tell which end is which. Aye, I know I said you'd struggle to lift a spoon, but you've won me over. Now, show me you can hold a skillet, and I'll get you started on your first task. I hope I by now fixed the audio. I think it was because I was charging my controller at the same time as I had my headphone plugged in, which gave a weird buzzing noise. I had the same issue when I was charging my phone while my headphone was plugged in when I recorded for my Hearts of Iron playlist. Apparently the electricity is interfering with each other. I don't do physics, but that's what I read. Never heard of it before, but it should be fixed now. Anyway, let's go. I see you're holding the skillet the right way, round, good. A culinarian lives and dies by his utensils. Get that into your head before you do aught else, or your food will look like shite and taste worse. Now let's see what you can do. For starters, I want you to make me maple syrup using your skillet. The recipe is as simple as they come. You only need two things, maple sap and a fire shard. Yossi sells sap over at the guild counter. Now time's a wasting, so get to work. It don't pay to keep folk waiting in our trade. Actually it does, though not too long. But apparently people are willing to pay more when they think you spend time preparing their food. What brings you to our kitchen, venturer? Fancy learning about the culinary arts, maybe? What do you do here? Linscott's me name, and I'm head chef here at the Bismarck, the finest restaurant in all Eorzea. It is my charge to make sure everyone as dines in our halls leaves with a smile on their face. The job's mostly supervising journeyman chefs at their work, but I try to fit in as much cooking as I can. It ain't all I do though. I also happen to be master of the Culinarians Guild, which lives under the same roof. That role has me training aspiring culinarians, which is without doubt my most rewarding endeavor. Don't matter if you can't tell which end of a skillet from the other. If you're willing to learn, I'm more than willing to teach you. What are the culinarians' arts? There's some that say the culinarians' arts are just a lot of fancy cooking, but that's only half of it. It is true we take well-known dishes and raise them to mouth-watering heights, but when you ain't busy doing that, we're laboring to bring new tastes and textures into the world. Now, as you can probably imagine, both of the above call for a decent helping of experience and skill, but neither's worth a damn if you ain't got passion. Our trades are stuff as old mutton, lass, and passion's the only thing what gets us to the grisly bits. When you pour your heart and soul into a dish only to have a patron call it slop, will you swallow your pride and start again, or will you run home crying? Words cut deeper than knives, adventurer, and where your pride's been hacked to shreds, passion's the only thing as keeps you standing in front of the stove. What in the seven hells are you waiting for? I told you to make me maple syrup, didn't I? The maple syrup's ready, is it? About bloody time. Let's see how it tastes then. Oh ho, this ain't bad. Flavor's alright, consistency's nearly there. In short, a damn sight better than a lot of novices manage. As you probably know, maple syrup's one of the most popular sweeteners around, and a key ingredient in all manner of cakes and treats. What you probably didn't know is that boiling the stuff down gets you maple sugar, a different sweetener with different uses. Just goes to show, even the simplest ingredients can have hidden complexities. I said earlier that the culinarian lives and dies by its utensils. Well, that's just half of it. He also needs to know his ingredients, and that's something that only comes with experience. Keep your nose to the stove, and report back when you're ripe for another task. There's naught behind these convent doors for a worldly type like you, missus. We're the dutiful sisters of the Edelweiss, all pure and saintly like. Now bugger off. Hang about. I thought you were just some simple errand lass, but now I've had a proper look at you. You're Monicate, ain't you? Heh, I knew it. We like to snilch all the rising talent, and from what I hear, you're head and shoulders above the rest. If you can handle yourself half as well as they say, you might be of some use to us. Ah, forget all that Sisters of the Edelweiss bollocks. That's just a bit of fun to fob of the curious girls. We're a guild of rogues, lass, and it's mainly our marks as do the praying. Me and mine work in the shadows of Limsa, taking the keen edge to the rooks and cacklers that have earned themselves a million. We don't tout for members, but every now and again we might offer a promising young cove a place in the ranks. If you have an interest in joining us, tip us your daddles and we'll put a hilt in each one, just like the gods intended. So what do you say? Fancy learning a new trade? Yes, we do. Good to see you're keen, but I should probably warn you on a few points before you dive in. Where most guilds take pride in turning their members into the best bloody candlestick makers they can be, we only care about getting the job done. And the job ain't pretty. You become one of us, and you'll soon be neck deep in scum and knife fights. So if you're looking to scamper across rooftops and bilk dandies of the blunt, you'd best take up with a different crew. Think on that, and come back if you're still keen. I didn't scare you off then? Bene. They told me as she was a meddlesome lass, and so it is proved. You'll need every ounce of that metal soon enough. Step inside and have a prattle with Jack. He's our upright man, the master of the guild. You're looking to head inside? Aye, I'm the one they call Jack, though I'm surprised you've heard of me. Perhaps you'll be good enough to tell me your name, along with the one of the kindly cove that has told you mine. Ah, the famous Monicate. Old Lonnie Leftpatch let you in, did he? He can't throw a blade for shite, but that one eye don't miss naught when it comes to sizing up a Denver mort for the Stalin. Just one thing, you ain't a pirate, are you? Well then, it's time you was stalled to the rogue. Pull on your best beater cases and I'll swear you in myself when you're ready. Now, I could fill your bottles with the storied history of our guild, but that's just wits and wind. The most important thing, the only thing we care about is getting the job done. Now, most folk, and I'm assuming you're among them, know that not long after Limsa's founding, the city was overrun by a motley collection of pirates and thieves. But as wild as that lot were, it soon became clear that they'd be ending up killing each other if they didn't lay down a few rules, an unspoken code of conduct, as it were. 1. You don't buy the purses of your fellow Lominsons. 2. You don't hook a crew out of their spoils. And 3. You don't trade culls like they was chattel. I'll admit the finer points of the code are a mite murky, but most agree on those 3 at least. Now, you might be thinking none of that amounts to a sack of dilberries now that the Admiral's outlawed piracy, but in the back alleys and black markets, where Merlip's grip ain't so tight, the code's still alive and well. And just as the law is enforced by the Yellow Jackets, the code is regulated by us rogues. We go where the shadows are darkest, and hand out justice as to them what break the code. Some rum-soaked cove steals goods from the wrong girl, and we steal 'em back. That's the job, my netty lass. Course, we don't hop the twig when blazework's called for neither. You'll see there's more to our decker play than just sticking culls with the pointy end. We'll weaken the mark with poison, and fade away and strike in the dark months, whatever it takes to get the work done. Well, Monicate, what do you say to that? Got the cuts to do our rogue jobs? Yes, we do. Alright then, first off, we'll have to get your kit sorted out. A rogue needs to be light on her dew beaters to stay on the mark's trail. The job might have you fighting across a deck or weaving through a mob, and the last thing you want is a bleeding great battle axe that hooks itself on every rope and post. That's why we stick to daggers. They let you slip to the streets just as easily as they slip through a rook's rib. Here, take these stabbers and see how they look on you. Just don't get so excited with your new toys as you forget to dress for the role. You'd be surprised at how many colts come back to me in their bloody small clothes. I wonder if any dialogue changes when you actually do turn up in your small clothes. Not that we are gonna do that. I am way too decent for that. Manage to strap on those daggers without cutting yourself? Well, we're off to a good start, I'd say. Next, you want to get a feel for the weight and speed of your new weapons. I reckon those bleating cheats in the field outside Limsa should serve for your first lesson. Aye, test your blades on a fewer than lambs, then slice up some rats and pudgels for good measure. Mind that you mill them beasties one at a time, though, lass. I know you've served far worse in the past, but you're no dimber-damber with them stabbers just yet. Head out into the fields and test your blades on some of the local pests. Aye, a few lambs and rats, and then some pudgels for a bit of a challenge. Done with your milling, are you? You can never have enough blade practice, lass. In fact, I'll even add a list of marks to your hunting log. Pit yourself against the lot, and you'll soon learn some new steps for your dance with the daggers. Aye, you must think of yourself as a dancer, not a bleeding butcher. You only need so much force to ram a short blade into the hilt. Precision and speed, that's how you get the most out of your stabbers. Bulky armor will only keep you plodding around like an ungainly Auroch, so make sure you're wearing gear what'll let you move freely as well. Alright, get your blade work up to scratch, Monagate, and I might just have a job for you.